Welcome to the 32nd episode of Downtime Podcast, which is the last podcast of 2017. My name is Alyssa.
I am Jeremy.
And we are here. We're actually sitting next to each other for this special occasion.
Mm-hmm. For the last podcast of the year, might as well go out in a bang.
Yeah. And we got Asahi with us too, and...
The beer. It's not a person.
Yeah, not the person.
There's no one here.
Is there
named
even
Asahi.
a person?
Maybe. It sounds like a last name.
Yeah, that would make sense.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so we're cozy right now, and we are recording this special episode, which I guess, what do we even call this episode?
End of year?
End of the year podcast?
Yeah. EOY? I don't know.
EOY. Oh my god. EOY 2017.
Yeah.
And in this episode, we are going to tell you, it's basically a retrospective episode of everything that we liked in 2017, everything we hated, games that came out in 2017 that we haven't played yet, that we still want to play, like personal stuff about 2018. And most of all, at the end of the podcast, we are going to tell you what our top games of 2017 are. And Jeremy and I compiled a list of 3 games, our top 3 games of the year. We both have not told each other what these games are.
That's right.
So
I'm excited to tell you. Because my list is... Yeah, I have a list. Let's just put it this way. I have a list. And damn.
I have a list too, but like I'm just like, what did you put for like your honorable mentions?
First of all, how many pages is your list?
It's 2 pages. How many pages?
Oh, shit.
No, it's 2 pages. No, it's 2 pages, but it's printed out. So
okay.
I don't know how big your list.
Well, it depends on what program you use to print it. But mine is a page and like a quarter. It's
okay.
like a page and like a sliver of the top.
Okay, that doesn't sound that bad.
No,
I think in my head.
Yeah.
So we have a lot of categories today. We're gonna go back and forth with all of our personal opinions. We're gonna give you our Jeremy and Alyssa's personal top 3 games of the year.
Top 3 games.
Top 3 games.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Do we have questions this week, by the way?
We don't have questions this week.
Oh, okay. So it's just this.
So it's just the podcast.
Okay, let's see how long this takes us.
All right. So games we still want to play that came from 2017.
Okay.
And so for the listeners, when we say it came from 2017, it's a game that came out from January 1st to December 31st. Well, like, this is recorded before December 31st, so
yeah.
Shit out of luck if your game comes out next week. So
if you're listening and you're a developer.
You know, you made it too late.
Yeah.
So.
Sorry.
Yeah. Things we're still intrigued and interested in.
Okay.
So you can go first.
I have 12.
All right. I got 3.
Oh.
So I got 3, but it's because I narrowed. So like maybe one of you, when you say a 12, it might actually spark and be like, oh, I do want to play that. So.
Yeah. Okay. So the first one on my list is Horizon Zero Dawn.
Mm-hmm.
We have talked about this before.
Yeah.
We both agreed that we're going to put a pause on this game.
Yeah.
Put a pause on playing it in order to focus on other games that we could talk about.
So that's actually not on my list, but now that you say it that way, then I do still, yes, that is definitely a game on the list.
Yes, because it did come out this year.
And
we both still, that's something that we both agreed we were going to play later.
Yeah. And we've only really put like 2 hours into it. So
yeah. It's a really fun game. It's just I need to beat other games before I play this one.
Yeah, I need to beat other games, as well as just this game is so... You just know it's going to be dense. Yeah. And it's just something I can't commit to right now.
Agreed. Do you want to say your game?
So the next game I have on this... I feel like we're going to have an overlap because reasons.
Yes.
The next game I have is Nier Automata.
Yep.
So...
I put that there too?
Yep. So we might as well just talk about it. So Nier Automata is the game that everyone tells me I should play. And they tell me I should play it based off of my general interests and what I like to play in video games.
Yes.
And it's about a robot, I believe. An android or something?
Yeah. And robots?
Robots, probably. I've heard so many things about the storyline and the gameplay as well as the narrative, and like every time people tell me about this game, they're like, yeah, you'll love this type of game, and I never really I didn't get it yet. And I think a lot of that just kind of has to do with I for the longest time didn't even know Nier Automata existed.
Yeah,
I probably didn't even know about the game till like September or like towards the summer. So
okay.
And although when did it come out? Do you know?
Before this, I think before the summer, March.
Okay, for sure.
Don't quote me on that. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong.
Don't quote Jeremy on that.
Please.
But this is definitely a game I'm interested in based off of my interests.
Yeah. Action, hack and slash, fantasy-ish science fiction game.
Yep, role-playing game.
Yeah.
So with a sick-ass soundtrack.
Yeah. So the gameplay is kind of like Final Fantasy 15 action-wise, right? Okay.
I believe so.
Yeah, from what I've been seeing.
Is this a Square Enix game?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. I thought it was.
I don't know anything about this game other than the name and what it contains.
Yeah.
And that you could be robots.
For sure. But I do it is a Square Enix game. Holy crap. Game developed by Platinum Games, published by Square Enix.
That Platinum Games.
Yeah, there you go.
Cool. They made Bayonetta and Star
Yes!
Fox Zero.
Yes. That's probably why people told me to play this game. I played Bayonetta before.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But definitely a game I want to visit eventually.
Yeah.
I do plan on getting it actually on Christmas, so.
Ooh.
Yeah. So
Nice.
I anticipate getting it like really, really soon, and I'll check it out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sweet. My next game is Cuphead.
Nice.
And I want to play that game because I love co-op games.
Yes.
And I think this is the ultimate co-op game because it's both hard and rewarding.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, I can't really say much about the game because all I know is that the art direction took 3 years. Like just making the game the entire thing was hand drawn at 60 frames per second.
Yeah.
Which is insane.
I know. The difficulty of just like animating the entire thing.
Oh yeah, no, it was like
there was so much effort put into it.
It's more than a movie because it's something that you have to interact with and there's so many outcomes. Mm-hmm. So I think it was like even more intense than that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I don't really want to talk too much about it because I just want to experience it instead of talking about it.
Definitely.
Yeah. You want to go ahead and do your next one?
All right. So the next game I have is Neo.
Me too.
Yeah. So the interesting thing is this was actually a game that I was going to try to fit in this year, but shit happens, and you lose track of time. And for some reason you get Horizon Zero Dawn instead of Neo on Black Friday.
Yeah.
And I don't know how the hell that happened, but I am still very interested in this game. And to be honest, all I know is that I heard this game is pretty difficult to play, and you're like a white samurai, or something like a. You
mean like Last Samurai, White Samurai?
Like Last Samurai, right? Like you're from Europe, right?
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. I really don't know what to expect with the storyline. I know the general premise of the game. I love Japanese-esque samurai type games. So I do want to play this. I'm going to be completely honest with you, Jeremy. I feel like I've been putting this game off because I was weirded by the fact that this is a Last Samurai-ish type thing. Because
it's like, no offense to our listeners, but it's like the Caucasian male saving the Asian country. Yeah.
Saving the Asian race.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it's like that.
I don't know either. And this game is very Japanese, though, because it's made by Team Ninja.
Yeah.
And you can't get more Japanese than Team Ninja.
Like, I don't know what to expect out of this game.
Yeah.
It deterred me for a little bit. It deterred me like maybe like over the summer. And then I realized, what, I am interested in playing it. Same. I will play this eventually. But yeah, give us your thoughts on this game in particular.
Should we play it? Yes or no?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm really interested too for the same reasons.
Yes.
Yeah. Cool. My next game is Sonic Mania. And
you know what? Okay, I'm so sorry. I keep forgetting you've never actually played it yet.
I don't own it. I haven't played it because I've been putting it off.
And it's just, I know, but it's like anytime you talk about Sonic, in my head, for some reason, it just registers like that you've actually played it. And then I realize, holy crap, you've never played it this entire time.
I cry every time I think about it. I'm just kidding. No, I need to play it though. I need to buy it. I need to play it. That's it. Mm-hmm. And I already talked about this to death before. But
yep, we talked about this way too much.
I love Sonic, but not in the weird way that other people love Sonic. I love Sonic for...
Totally.
Yeah.
All right, Jeremy, so this is where we're at a crossroads because I have one left.
Okay, then I'll just talk about the rest of mine.
And you have like how many left?
I'll get there.
Okay.
Let me make sure one of my games still comes out in 2017. Go ahead and talk.
Okay. So the last game I have is this short game called A Night in the Woods. And it's just this really cutesy game, I believe, about a bunch of owls.
Oh, okay.
Like, I don't think it's about owls, but just like more night critter type animals. And it's about friendship. And this is like, I love playing cutesy type games. And I remember this game came out sometime in February and I was going to buy it. It actually fell off my radar for a bit. But when I was compiling this list, that's when I realized, oh yeah, I actually really wanted to purchase this game. I believe it's a 8-hour-ish game too. It's not that bad. So definitely something I want to check out really quickly in the future.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. My next game is Prey.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
The shooter. It's a reboot of the Prey series.
Yeah.
The first game I don't know if it's the same story as the first game, but the first game, or in this game, you're a what's it called? In the very first game, you're a Native American guy, and your grandpa, uncle, relative was abducted by aliens. And then you get abducted, and you have to help find him. And then you find him, and then he's dead. Or he's dying, and then you have to fight all the aliens again.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I thought that game is definitely one of them on my list.
I see. Hey, real quick, I have a correction about Night in the Woods.
Okay.
I believe it's like a cat or fox, not an owl. My bad, everyone. That's all.
It's fine.
That's all I have. That's all I have to say about that.
Yeah. My next game actually came out last year, but it got a worldwide release this year.
What does that mean?
It was released in Japan last year, but it was released this year worldwide. That's not Japan.
Okay.
Don't judge me.
Yeah?
Don't judge me.
Okay, I'm not judging you.
Dead or Alive Extreme 3 Volleyball for PS4.
If you guys could see my face right now.
I'm looking at it. Why are you shaking your head?
Okay, no judgment. We're
No, you could judge now. I wanted to tell you. Now you can judge. What's up? Well, tell me.
Dude.
Why?
Really?
Why? I don't know. I'm playing it for the volleyball. No, that was the one. I actually only put that on there just to see your facial expression. Your reaction is exactly what I wanted it to be. Like, really? Are you kidding me?
I was gonna be like, you know what my reaction is now that it all processed?
Yeah.
I was about to say, you know what? I'm not surprised.
Hey.
I'm not surprised. After all of our talks where you just knew all this information, I was like, how the hell do you know this?
I know random facts and trivia, but that's just cuz, okay? I don't do research. I go down a rabbit hole. I'm just saying.
Okay. Wait, but seriously, is this a game that you wanna?
It's on the list as a troll. Take it or leave it as you want. If you think it's serious, go ahead. Maybe it's $84. I don't know if I'll spend that much money for that.
Wait, are you kidding? Is that a troll too?
No.
It's actually $84.
Look on Amazon right now.
Okay, why is it $84 for volleyball?
Well, I think there's other stuff you can do in the game. There's like gambling, jet ski racing.
That is so random.
Oh my
god, the Dead or Alive series is just...
This is even about fighting. Well, technically, there's a game... All right, you're going to judge me again. There's a mini game in the game where you push... You play as one girl and you push another girl off of a float or something in the middle of a pool. That's as much fighting as it gets in that game, I think.
Wow.
There's rock climbing. Yeah. Stuff. Yeah.
I don't even know what to say about this game. It's not even a fighting game anymore.
No.
It started off as a fighting series too.
This is the third one in the series. Technically, I think it's the fourth actually. Wow. I'm not sure, but yeah.
So random.
This is a game made for men, made by men. Maybe some women made it too. I'm not sure.
Maybe. You never know.
Maybe they did the motion capture.
Yeah.
Okay. The next game on my list is Hollow Knight.
Oh,
I believe that came out this year.
Wait, I'm sorry. Did you say Hollow Knight or Shovel Knight?
Hollow Knight.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Different company made this one. It's basically like Shovel Knight, but like Dark Souls difficulty.
Oh, okay. I've actually never heard of this game then.
Yeah, it's on Steam. I'm not sure if it's on any other console.
Yeah.
Super Mario Odyssey is after that.
Nice.
I'll just say Super Mario Odyssey.
Mario
Odyssey.
That's
just it.
Yeah, that's
Breath
it.
of the Wild is on there. Yeah. The Evil Within 2.
Oh.
I need to finish the first one. I don't own it, but I need to find it and buy it.
Yeah.
And then I want to play the second one because Shinji Mikami, the guy who made Resident Evil 4, did he make just that game? I forget, but he made this game. So I want to play it. And I like his work. Persona 5.
Mm-hmm.
I want to play that game.
Nice.
And then I have one more game after that.
Okay.
Uncharted Lost Legacy.
Oh, okay. I don't know if I want to play that game.
Really?
Like, I mean, it doesn't, for some reason, I feel like it's the price and the time spent, and it just didn't pique my interest at that point when it actually came out.
I'm just waiting for the price to go down.
Yeah.
That's the only thing. Like,
Yeah.
I do want to play it. I just want it to be cheaper.
For
But
sure.
I do know your sentiments.
Yeah.
Like, I know how you feel.
Yeah. And we'll see if I end up playing that game too. I do like I love the Uncharted series a lot, so.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you know, you own the PS4
Mm-hmm.
that has Nathan Drake on it.
Yep, I own the special Nathan Drake Collector's Edition. So, I mean, Uncharted 4 was the game where when it was announced, I was like, yeah, this is when I'm getting my PlayStation. So.
Cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Is that it?
Yeah. Well, one more game I have on this list
Okay.
is Cuphead. Oh, no, Cuphead. Overcooked.
Overcooked!
Did it come out this year? I'm not sure. I think it came out last year or 2 years ago, but I don't know when it came out on PS4. But yeah, I bought it yesterday.
You bought it yesterday?
Yeah.
Oh, wait, actually, that's what you were talking about when you texted me.
Yeah, and I really want to. Oh my god, it's so fun.
It actually came out in 2016.
Fuck. Okay, take that off the list.
No. Oh, yeah. It came out in 2016. It came out on Nintendo Switch in July. This past July. But this leads... But this game actually leads to the next category we have. Games we enjoyed that did not come out in 2017.
Okay.
So, Overcooked is probably one of them for you.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
That Overcooked is, and I played it like a few days ago.
Yeah.
Jordan's girlfriend came over. She brought her Switch, and I wanted more. So much more.
Nice.
And I realized the game was only $20 on the PlayStation Store, and I was like...
And you just got it?
Yeah, I was like, it's holidays. Might as well buy this game.
It's like, you're already spending all that money on gifts.
Yeah, I'm like, you know what?
Why
not more?
What's gonna hurt?
Yeah, I know. I'm already bleeding. Might as well bleed more. Make the wound bigger. That sounds so bad. Yeah, so I bought that. Oh, and I bought Fat Princess Adventures. So we could play that too. Yeah.
You did it.
Yeah. And I have 4 controllers.
Yay.
So it's even better. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I have black, white, red, and blue. It's great.
So patriotic.
Didn't think about that. I just wanted red and blue.
America.
There you go. Or France, or UK, or
America.
Yeah.
Actually, it could be UK too.
Yeah. What about you?
So I actually only have one game on this list.
Oh, I have 8.
I only have one game on this list, and now I'm like, I'm like contemplating what else did I play this year. But go first. Actually, you can even say half of your list right now.
Okay, so the first one I have is Wolfenstein: A New Order.
Oh, okay.
I rebought it on not rebuy it. I replayed it and I bought it on Black Friday, this past Black Friday.
Yeah.
Because it was like $15, and you get the Old Blood DLC, which is basically a 4 or 5 hour game, and like a prequel to the New Order. And Damn, I forgot how good of a game the New Order is. Like, I thought it would be sluggish because when I first played it, I was like, I kept dying all the time. And then I remembered all the little secrets and just like tips from playing it in the first time around.
Yeah.
And I beat it fairly quickly because I guess it was my motivation to play the new Colossus as well as soon as I could because I really wanted to jump on that.
Yeah.
And the New Order is just is probably one of the best single player experiences since Half-Life 2 for me.
That's really cool.
And I love that game so much. I love Half-Life, and I knew that I would like Wolfenstein. And I've loved the Wolfenstein series since Return to Castle Wolfenstein. I did play the very first one that came out in 1993 or whatever, but it was such a dated game that, when I was younger, I was like, I want to play newer games that are bloodier and violenter.
Yeah.
And then I played Return to Castle Wolfenstein, and I love that game so much. And then the 2009 one came out, and I didn't play that game. It's called Wolfenstein. It's just called Wolfenstein. And then the New Order came out, and I was like, hell yeah. And then New Colossus came out, I was like, oh, hell yeah. So then I bought both on Black Friday. Yeah. Played the shit out of the New Order. Second game on my list is Mountain Blade with Fire and Sword. I talked about this.
Yes, you have.
My brother and I have sunk like 200 hours into this game, just on online mode only. There was a user who commented that I should play Warband, and I did. And I played a modded version of Warband called Gekkokujo, which I mentioned before, which is set in feudal Japan. Yeah, which is really cool.
Yeah.
And then I put Sleeping Dogs on here because I played that again in the beginning of this year. And I platinumed that game.
Nice.
Yeah, I really wanted to platinum that game because I love Sleeping Dogs so much. There's so many quotable things. The pork bun guy. It's great.
Yeah.
And also all the voice actors, and especially the lead actor, is Asian American. So I thought that was really cool.
That is really cool.
Yeah. Although he was not Chinese. He was Korean. But it's fine. He's still Asian
Shout out to Asian American actors out there.
There we go. Yeah. Doing your thing. Another game on my list is Lego Jurassic World. It came out in 2015 or 16, and I played it with Jordan because it contains all 4 Jurassic Park movies from the first one until Jurassic World. And so my brother and I are huge fans of the entire franchise of Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
You can see behind you there, Alyssa, there's the VHS tapes of the first 3 movies.
I realized that you even have a VHS player right next to it.
Oh, that's actually just a tape.
Tape recorder.
Not a tape recorder. It's what's it called? Cassette player.
Cassette player.
Maybe, I hope whoever's listening, you guys know what a cassette player is. If you don't, I'm sorry. That means I'm just old.
Nah. Yeah.
Yeah. People don't know what VCRs are anymore,
I
so
know,
it's fine.
crazy.
Be kind, rewind. No one knows what that is.
I know.
Resident Evil 5. I played that with Jairus.
I remember that.
Yeah. I was telling you about it, and I like that game a lot.
Yeah.
Borderlands: The Handsome Collection.
Oh, nice.
I finally have 4 controllers. That game is 4 players split screen, and it's so much fun when you're like playing with each other.
Yeah.
Because it's co-op, and it's a co-op first-person shooter, which is great. I love co-op games.
Yeah.
My last 2 are Jackbox party games. Do you know what those are?
I've heard of it, but I don't know much about it.
I don't own them, but I do have a cousin who does, and we did play them on his PS4. And it's basically you get, I think, 16, 20 people on one console, and you all pull out your smartphones, connect to the same Wi-Fi network, and then you can play one game doing that. It's like digital board games.
Yeah. Like
digital versions of Monopoly or Life.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it's really funny. And you can say some really inappropriate things, although the game is not designed to be inappropriate or appropriate. It's in a neutral zone where whatever content the user submits, it can be inappropriate.
Yes.
Which I think is really cool. And the last game on my list is Animal Crossing New Leaf. And I put this here because at the beginning of this year I was kind of playing a little bit because I wanted something I can calm down on.
Yeah.
And just play actually I have one more game after this, then I'll think about it.
Okay.
That I just wanted to play in a relaxed setting. And then when Pocket Camp came out, and I mentioned this before, it doesn't feel like Animal Crossing to me. And I pulled out New Leaf again, and I was like, yeah, there's a stark difference between a mobile version of Animal Crossing that's really stripped down and the actual version of Animal Crossing that is be a player, get a job, get money, which is basically Life Simulator if you think about it.
Yeah.
And whereas Pocket Camp is more like Camp Simulator. I don't know how to explain it. Pocket Camp just isn't fun for me.
Yeah.
And I deleted it after I tried it out, and I was like, yeah,
for sure,
this is okay. It just felt like another microtransaction cash grab.
Yeah, I was about to say I was surprised. Well, I mean, if you enjoyed it, you enjoyed it. So
yeah. If you enjoyed it as much as you play Super Mario Run and Pokemon Go, then more power to you. But just for me personally, like those two games I just mentioned aren't really. They're based on their bigger like parent franchises, but they're designed to be played differently. Whereas Animal Crossing, it's designed to be played just like Animal Crossing, which kind of bothered me because I thought it would look different. Which I understand why it looks like New Leaf, because maybe it uses the same engine or a modified version of it, and the content is a lot more streamlined for mobile devices. Yeah. But I don't know. I just need physical buttons on a console to play this game.
No, I get it.
And it's just different. Maybe just me being old, but every Animal Crossing game was the same until this one.
Yeah.
Whereas Pokemon and Mario, all games are different for those.
Yeah.
For the most part, because there's like Pokemon Snap, and then there's the mainline Pokemon games, and Pokemon trading card game. Mm-hmm. You know, in Animal Crossing, it's always been one type of game. So yeah. And then the game I wanted to mention after this is related to that is actually Stardew Valley.
Oh, nice.
And I really, really like that game.
Yeah, I definitely want to check out that game.
Yeah. When co-op comes out, you and I can like get a bunch of other people maybe and then start a farm.
Okay, cool.
Just mess around with each other.
Sounds good.
Try to get married to the same person.
Oh, wait a minute.
What's cool about the game is you can marry whoever you want, man or woman. Okay, I was like, this is very progressive. And the whole game was designed by one person.
Yeah.
So cool.
That's what I heard.
Yeah.
I definitely want to check out that game.
Oh yeah. It's so fun so far. It's just, I feel lonely. I need people to play with.
Okay.
We can talk about with.
Okay.
Thanks.
Eventually.
Okay. Yeah, so that's it.
So as you were talking, I actually thought of two games. So now I have three.
Go ahead.
I have 3 games that I enjoyed that did not come out in 2017. The first one, this was actually off my list. I can't believe. See, that's how long. Like, it wasn't even that long ago, but I don't even remember shit, Jeremy. So.
Yeah, you went by and I don't remember anything.
Yeah, there's a lot of things I don't remember, and I'm like almost disappointed and ashamed I didn't even include this in my list. But Starbound is like one. Starbound is definitely a game that I include on this list. I absolutely love this game. It is pretty much like it is Terraria, except it's the universe, and
Terraria in space.
Terraria in space. It has the same developers that Terraria had who worked on this. It's sandbox, procedurally generated universe wonderfulness. There's just so many possibilities here. Mm-hmm. And if you can do whatever you want, just like you can do whatever you want. You can do whatever you want. Like you can just build your own fortress, and you can just mine, and you can build like a mansion for yourself and do whatever the hell you want.
So cool.
Yeah, or you can just do the storyline, or like there's a lot of possibilities. Like for example, you can have a fortress in the sky. Like there's like some worlds where there's straight up like there's a race that's actually flying in the air, and they have like a spaceship in the air too, and you have to make a ladder like way up into the atmosphere to get to that spaceship.
Race like
I don't remember so for me, my race, I was actually a bird. I was an avian race.
Okay. I meant like airplane race or car race.
Yeah. Oh, shoot. Yeah. My bad. I don't remember what race had the pirate ship anymore.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and it was just an adorable game too, because every race had its own quirk to it. Like, I remember the last time I played Starbound a few months ago, there's this one race, I already forgot what they were, but they were cowboys.
Cool.
And then my avian race, they were Egyptians. Like and you go to an NPC world for them, and it's a pyramid. So it's a pyramid dungeon.
That's cool.
There's just a lot of thought put into this, and they're constantly updating it too.
Right.
Just like Terraria, it's just constantly being updated.
Same developer, different developer.
Not the same company, but developers who worked on like the actual individual people who worked on Terraria. Some of them worked on Starbound. That's why the premise is like exactly the same, pretty much. Okay. And Chucklefish makes this one. Really incredible game. Loved it so, like, that was, man. If this game actually came out in 2017, this would be in my top for sure.
Yeah?
Yeah. Okay. Definitely. The next game that I enjoyed is Skyrim, and it was like a renaissance of open world games that I've just never really played with before.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like playing this game and enjoying it as much as I did just opened up a new world in games that I'm like I would be really interested in. Like, honestly, if I think about it, if I didn't enjoy Skyrim, or if I never played Skyrim, would I even be interested in Horizon Zero Dawn? You know what I mean? Like, this just opens a door to a lot of possibilities in the future. And God, this also came at a time where I was trying to follow the crowd and also watch Game of Thrones. And it was like dragon all day, every day for like 2 months straight. So
yeah.
The quests are also fun, and just, man, and I'll tell you this game came out like 5 years ago. They're coming out with really random ass like platforms to open it up on. It's gonna come on iPhone soon, Jeremy. I don't know why, I don't know how, but they're gonna do it on. No. I'm saying this as this shit's gonna come out on iPhone. Sorry, right. I meant that tone.
I was like, it's coming out on iPhone?
I mean, who knows? They might have announced it like 5 minutes ago and I didn't even know.
Yeah.
And God, still beautiful. Like, it is still fucking beautiful 5 years later. So love this game a lot. My last game on this list is To the Moon.
Oh.
I played it for the first time in January. And then I actually played it again 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And man, if you want to cry, if you need a game to cry to, this is it. But what's really hilarious about this game is just like, you can just tell that the dialogue is weird at times. Like, you're like, why did this guy say it like that?
Yeah.
This is not the natural way to say it. I think his name's Dr. Watts. Like, Dr. Watts just said so many things throughout that I was just thinking, okay, I feel like this needed to be proofread or something.
Yeah, exactly.
But either way, whatever dialogue style and choice, the story makes sense still. The story makes a huge impact. It's a really, really sad game. Very, like, definitely narrative driven and story driven. But it's so, God, it only takes 3 hours to finish. And I think it's so worth it.
Yeah.
The one thing is they're actually coming out with a second one next year, I believe.
Is it To the Moon 2?
To the Moon 2.
What?
Yeah, I swear to God they're coming out with one next year, which means like this is a game that's a standalone. Like I can't tell you how you would make a sequel out of the ending of the original. But the only reasonable thing would be it's a new story. Like, same doctor's new story for To the Moon 2.
So the only recurring characters are the doctors.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. This is a tearjerker. Definitely worth it. Pretty simple, easy game. Great story.
Okay.
And those are all the games that I enjoyed.
Cool.
That did not come out in 2017.
Yeah, I had a hard time remembering everything about this category, but I know I didn't capture everything.
Yeah.
But I put down what I did.
Yeah. There's just like there's a lot of games I straight up forgot about until you started talking.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Yeah. Definitely probably forgot a lot of things, but you know, I always got your back.
Thanks.
Yeah. No problem. All right. So this category is especially made for Jeremy. Just because I needed to hear it one more time.
I have this doesn't include games that we played, or is this games that we played?
Oh.
Because I put 3 games that I haven't played, but I just don't agree with. But
you know what? Let's go for it. Why not?
Okay.
Let's fucking go.
Okay.
This category is actually we didn't really name the category.
Worst games.
Worst games.
Just put worst games.
Worst games.
The Razzies of video games.
The Razzies of video games. All right.
Just cause 3. Hate that game so much. Oh my god, I really hate that game.
Oh my god.
Why I hate it? It crashed on me 3 times during important parts of the game. The single player story is stupid. The motion capture didn't go with the words, and the mouths didn't move the same way, which was really weird. There were some weird technical glitches. It promised to be a lot of fun. The only cool thing about the game were the explosions. I'm trying not to get an ulcer. I don't want to yell. Yeah, I hate that game so much, and I wish I could return it. But if I returned it, I'd only get $3, and I paid $20 for it.
That's how bad this game is, folks.
Yeah. Someone buy my copy. I swear I'll sell it to you. But please don't pay $3 for it. I need more money than that. I'll sell it to you for $15.
You heard it there, folks. If you want to buy Jeremy's copy of Just Cause 3 for $15, worst game that he's played of 2017.
There are other games, but I don't want to talk about them. This podcast will take a while if I
all
do.
All right.
And we don't have enough memory card space for the...
Oh, shit. Okay. How much?
Well, we have an hour left.
Okay, cool.
It's fine.
All right.
Go ahead.
The only game that I have on this is Amnesia Memories.
Okay. I played the first one. I liked it. Is this a different one?
Oh God. No. Not that Amnesia. My bad. I should have clarified. This Amnesia I'm talking about is a Japanese dating sim.
Oh.
And it was just not what I expected at all. Like, it was...
Oh.
I only finished a fourth of the game because I was so pissed. So this game, it came out of me finishing Persona 4 Golden.
And you're like, I want something like that.
And I was like, I want something like this. And on the PlayStation Store, on my Vita, this game was rated super high, like super, super high. And it had the same JRPG images and styles in the screenshots as Persona 4 Golden.
Ooh.
So I was like, oh God, I think I'm going to love this game. And I played it and I hated it. I didn't like it. I realized that dating sims aren't for me. I realized that dating sims are fucking crazy sometimes. And I realized that, holy shit, why are you playing? Like, no. Actually, yeah, I'll go there. There are some storylines where I'm like, how is this acceptable? How, if you, like, because I know, this is how, like, a lot of women, you know, like to play and enjoy, and kind of like in the same manner of Dead or Alive 3. But I'm just like, how do you accept that? How do you accept the storyline? That's all I have to say. It was like borderline abusive, and it's like I just can't. I just couldn't. I couldn't, Jeremy.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's my only game on this.
Okay.
Yes.
I have 4 more. Ukulele.
Okay. Oh.
Yeah, I talked about my dislike. It's the worst because it just, when it first came out and I got it, it just felt really lackluster.
Yeah.
I just felt like there was something missing.
Yeah.
And I don't know what it was, and I still don't.
Okay.
But I need to play it again to kind of get a feel for it. But I let one of my friends, like a really close friend of mine, come over, and he and I are like one of the biggest Banjo-Kazooie fans.
Yeah.
And we've been following the development of this game since it was announced, and both of us contributed like to the Kickstarter. So of course we were getting updates every week. We were seeing the progress of the game. We heard all these things, like all these good things, and it was getting good praise because it's the same exact guys who made Banjo-Kazooie, and we're like, yes, this game is going to be one of the best of 2017. It came out, I played it, and I was like, dude, I don't feel very confident about this game. And he's like, no, there's nothing wrong with it. I'll play it and I'll show you. So he came over to my house one day, and I handed him the controller. I was like, have fun. And he started playing it, and he's like, I don't like this game. I was like, what is it about this game that we just don't like? And he couldn't put a finger on it. And yeah, I don't know. It just felt really lackluster.
For sure.
Maybe if you're listening, you can tell me why I feel this way. Be my therapist and tell me why.
Oh my God.
Or if you like the game, tell me why you liked it, and I'll give it a second chance and I'll see it from a new light. But seriously, I really didn't like this game, and I thought it was like not good.
Got it.
The other 3 on my list are 2 of them came out recently: Assassin's Creed Origins and Call of Duty World War II. Just because I feel like those are 2 franchises from 2 different developers that are annual and they're repetitive. And despite what you say, and if you try to defend these games, you can't change my opinion, because no matter what's going to happen, they're always going to be
the same.
Exactly. Assassin's Creed will always have the same formula as will Call of Duty. Doesn't matter what era you put it in.
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it.
And I'm like, meh, no. And then the last game on my list is something that I was actually looking forward to, but I found out that the user base dropped off significantly once it was released, and this game is called For Honor. It had like a MOBA aspect to it, and it's a third-person action game with kind of like hack and slash elements a little bit. And for some reason, I don't know, I just feel like there was so much high hopes for this, and then it just fell off the radar because everyone stopped playing it. Also a Ubisoft game, and I think it might be because Rainbow Six Siege came out at the same time this game came out.
Yeah.
And Rainbow Six Siege took a lot of the thunder away from it. Also, Ubisoft.
Got it.
So, yeah.
I do agree with you about Call of Duty for sure. Yeah. Also, I will never not talk about the irony that Call of Duty started off as an actual, like, militaristic style game.
And I played that first one.
Yeah. Which was basically World War II.
Yeah. It was set in World War II. That's right.
And now we have another World War II game with zombies. And
literally called World War II.
I know. And it's just like, what?
And no, doesn't matter if you put Josh Duhamel in this game. He doesn't save the story. I'm just saying. He's in the game.
Just saying.
He's motion captured in the game. I'm like, yeah, you were okay in Transformers. You're married to Fergie or whatever, but still.
They're not together anymore, by the way.
Oh, you're not married to Fergie anymore.
Yeah.
Sucks for you.
I think it literally happened this year.
Well, 2017.
In 2017.
Yeah. So yeah, those are my worst games.
All right. Just dedicated for Jeremy.
Thanks. Just so I can talk about. Yeah. Okay, let's move on, Alyssa.
All right. So the first game that I actually have on the list, I have 4 games under honorable mention, by the way.
I have 8.
That's okay. You know what? This is our podcast and we can do whatever we want. So you can follow your heart, Jeremy.
Okay.
That's all that matters.
Yes.
Okay. So the first game I actually have on the list is Tekken 7.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
I know you're a fighting game fan.
I am a fighting game fan. This is by far the best Tekken game that has come out in years.
Mm-hmm.
In years, Jeremy.
Okay.
And there's a few kinks, glitches that come with any fighting game, especially if you play with online. Although online is slightly better now. They've fixed a lot of that. But I think overall, just the fighting, the fluidity and the different styles, the game is still fun. I put it as an honorable mention. It's it looks great. A lot of your favorite characters are still there. The reason it's an honorable mention, also the storyline is still stupid and ridiculous. If you're a Tekken fan, you know exactly what I'm talking about. By the way, are we allowed to talk about spoilers? Do you want not major spoilers, but like slight spoilers? Like, do we want to put a spoiler warning on this?
No, let's not do that.
Okay.
Yeah, let's just keep it general.
All right, we'll keep it general. So, the biggest issue that I had with Tekken 7, which is why it's an honorable mention, is they actually took out a lot of staple characters that I feel are very important to the storyline, and which is not necessarily a bad thing, but I don't think that the characters they replaced them with were that great, or they very lackluster.
Okay.
I can't think of one at the top of my head, but a character that I really liked that they removed is Lei Wulong. And Lei Wulong is like the Jackie Chan character fighting style. So he's like this like kung fu drunken
master.
Drunken master.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and so they took out his character, but there's a lot of characters that they put in. See, this is how much I don't like them. I don't even remember what their names are anymore. That's how bad it is.
Okay. That's fair.
Yeah. This game is pretty interesting. The season pack, the DLC that you can have for Tekken 7 is pretty cool. Like, there's just random shit. Like, they brought Tekken Bowling back. There's like a lot of like interesting characters from like different video games, like Noctis from Final Fantasy's on this too.
I saw that trailer.
Yeah.
That's so weird.
Yeah.
But I mean, it just makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense in the Tekken world. If you know the Tekken, it's like any Tekken fan knows that just based off of the Heihachi Mishima storyline alone, it's just ridiculous.
Okay.
I don't know what to expect. Like, I don't know if this is... So I still kind of don't know the future of Tekken, because something pivotal happens with the storyline, but this is still a very popular fighting game, and if Namco Bandai like knows, they can pull some stupid shit and people will still buy it. Stupid shit meaning like in the storyline. So
yeah.
Cheers to that. So
for me,
I feel like for every one of mine, you have to say 2 now because you have 8, right?
Yeah,
you have 8 honorable mentions.
Yeah, I guess I'll do 2. Number 1, yeah, 1 will be Killing Floor 2. It was in early access on Steam for a while, and then it got a full release this year. I believe that's correct. I don't remember. But I'm gonna put it on there because it got fully released, and now I love the first game. And basically, if you don't know Killing Floor, it's a wave shooter, meaning that waves of it's a PvE game where waves of zombies or experiments come and try to kill you.
Yeah.
And you work with 5 other people, so it's 6 people total on a server. Sometimes it's 12 if it's a modded server, and you shoot all these creatures, and they come in different shapes and sizes, just like the ones in Left 4 Dead.
Yeah.
So it's kind of cool.
Nice.
My brother and I sunk 300 hours into that game.
Seriously?
Yes, he probably sunk more.
Wow.
It's one of my favorite co-op games of all time. And yeah,
very nice.
And it's a beautiful looking game.
Yeah.
Since I have to do 2, right, for everyone that you say,
because you have 8, right?
2. Another game is Bigfoot, and I talked to you about this before. Yeah.
I was like wondering where you were gonna put that.
It's an honorable mention.
Yeah.
because it's still an early access game and it's not a full release. Mm-hmm. The 3 games I chose are full releases.
Got it.
For top games of the year. So
I believe mine are too.
Okay, that's good.
I was like, yeah, that would be nice.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not trying to pull Game Awards here. You know what I'm saying?
PUBG.
Get out of here, PUBG. Yeah. So Bigfoot, if you don't know what the game is, and I talked about this before on a previous couple podcasts, it's a game where you are teaming up with 2 other people, 3 people total in a server, and your goal is to find Bigfoot and survive. And you're supposed to shoot him until he gets incapacitated, and then you capture him, drag him to your car, and it's the end of the level. Simple premise. The developers are working hard on it. I think it's only 3 people that are developing this game, including one like composer or something. Yeah.
Oh, so. You were saying that before, I remember. Mm-hmm. Which is awesome.
Yeah, so they're still updating it, so it should be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, still waiting for that to come out. What's next, Alyssa?
All right. So next on my list, I have a really quick horror game called Detention for an honorable mention, and it is made by, I believe, a Taiwanese developer, and it is a Taiwanese game about a kid, and he has to solve a mystery at a school, and of course, it's a horror. It's like a atmospheric horror game, so anything you'd expect out of that. And what I love about this game and why it's in honorable mention is that one, the art's really cool. It's like, I want to say it's like kind of like a doodle watercolor type style.
It's like but muted because it's black and white, right?
Muted black and white with red accents.
It's so cool.
And what I like about it is the history and the culture and the lore that's not lore, and the history, culture, and I guess religious aspects that are in it. It's just very interesting that incorporated from like Taoist religion and how it comes during a time of martial law in Taiwan. And so it just make like just the historical aspect of it really adds on to make this like a true horror game in its narrative. And definitely like it's a really quick game, takes 3 hours to make 3 hours to complete and beat, but it's a very, very good one. Like it's a good one to play with friends, or honestly I actually played this game by myself and it was like okay. So
there's no jump scares or anything, right?
It's like no real jump scares in this game. There's I mean you could say there's like a few like typical, but it's like it's not reliant on that.
Good, because I don't like games like that. Like no offense, but Outlast, do you know about Outlast? That game's relying on jump scares.
Yeah,
I feel.
Yeah, so it's not like that. It's definitely more atmospheric.
Yeah,
like Amnesia or Slender Man.
Yeah.
So that's one of my honorable mentions.
Okay. So the 2 that I have, Ukulele is one.
Ukulele.
I give that game shit, and I'll say it again. It's not Banjo-Kazooie. If you want to play Banjo-Kazooie or something like it, go play Banjo-Kazooie.
Yes.
platformer. I'm still trying to give it a chance. I still want to play it. It came out this year, but just there were a lot of positive things about the game that I've heard. It just fell short of what they were supposed to be. They promised a lot.
Yeah,
it was the chosen one, and it did not deliver.
Yeah, for sure.
A second game on my list, Mario Kart 8.
Oh, nice.
I love Mario Kart so much.
Very nice.
Especially the 8th game in the series, because in our office, there's a guy whose name begins with an R. I will not say his name.
Shout out to R.
He owns a Switch. I'm sure you know this person as well, Lisa.
Oh yeah, of course I know this guy. This guy's awesome.
And I beat his ass at Mario Kart, and he owns the game, and I don't. All the time. I always beat him.
So that's why you're not calling out his name.
Nope. Because he could be salty. He always curses me out every time we play, and I always get first in our office, and I'm not proud of it because I don't like.
Why are you not proud of it? What the hell is that?
I don't know. Yeah. So those are my two.
Very nice.
And I don't really have much to say about Mario Kart because everyone knows Mario Kart.
Exactly. So, third game on my honorable mention list is The Fractured But Whole. I don't have much to say because this is actually like the most recent game that I've been playing.
Mm-hmm.
As you all know, I kind of did not like the way the game started. I didn't think the game was as funny. But like basically everything from the second half was excellent, and I really liked the game a lot. A lot of people don't like the mechanics that much. A lot of people just wanted a simple hack and slash game. I do like the battle system a lot. I like how thoughtful it is. The thing about Grid is it does get faster the more you get used to it. And since this is just a type of game that I play often, I was like immediately drawn to it. So I never had real issues on it. If you're a huge South Park fan, you'll definitely still appreciate this game. I do believe the Stick of Truth is a lot better. But this one, all your fractured butthole fartness is like pretty amazing. Like I said, it gets way better towards the end. And I'll just say too that a way to improve the game is I think this game needed to have less political atmosphere jokes, and they needed to have more stupid jokes. For example, like Kanye West gay fish jokes. I said that in an earlier podcast, but it's like this game needed more randomness that the Stick of Truth had, because the Stick of Truth truly had so much random ass shit going on. But I also acknowledge that it reflects South Park at that time too, because during that time South Park did address current issues, but a lot of their starter jokes were very, very very like over the top, random, ridiculous. And so these ones are definitely more focused in, like, for example, PC Principal is a huge person in this game, and just like your identity.
Yeah.
And that's just what South Park focuses on these days.
So the next two that I have, Resident Evil 7 Biohazard.
Okay. I'm actually shocked it's not in your top 3.
It's not.
Wow.
I didn't beat the game yet.
Ah.
Because I'm a scaredy cat.
Oh my god.
I need to play with me, Lisa. I'm scared.
We could play it after this podcast. So.
Then I can't sleep.
All right.
I'm going to play in the daytime.
Yeah. But I will say, I was actually expecting this game to be in your top 3.
It's actually not. Yeah. Although, one of the games on my top 3 I didn't beat.
Okay.
So
for sure.
Just a little hint.
Yeah.
It's self-explanatory. It's the newest Resident Evil game. Narrative-wise, it's very different from previous games. It's also first-person, which I thought was really unique and cool.
Yeah.
As a fan of first-person shooters in general, I thought that was a really cool take on the Resident Evil franchise. And I want to think that the Resident Evil franchise is always a definer of how horror should be.
Yeah.
Gameplay-wise, with the first game being the fixed camera, the fourth game being over the shoulder, and every game after that copied it. Pretty much, like every action game after that copied over the shoulder. And then the seventh one being first person, which I think is really cool. The other game is Rising Storm 2 Vietnam. Okay. It's a first person shooter multiplayer game on the PC.
Yes.
I believe it's only on PC. I think it might be on consoles. I'm not sure. Developed by Tripwire, the people who made Killing Floor 2. And it's a sequel to Rising Storm 1, of course, which was set in World War II with the Americans versus the Japanese. And this is during the Vietnam War, as in the title states, with the Americans versus the North Vietnamese. And I think you can be South Vietnamese too at some point.
That's really cool.
And the Australian Army.
I like the premise of that.
Yeah, and it's pretty authentic too. The weapons and even the North Vietnamese will yell taunts in Vietnamese.
Yeah.
I don't understand what they're saying, but I assume it's something bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. So 32 players on each team, 64 people total for a match. I might be wrong. It might be 16 on each team. I'm not sure, but yeah, it's a cool game.
Very cool.
I was a huge fan of the first one, so I had to get the second one.
Mm-hmm. Really quick question about the game. Mm-hmm. So, is it just in the Vietnam perspective?
In the campaign? You mean is the entire game set in Vietnam?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Got it.
Yeah, it's focused on the Vietnam War.
Yes.
Which is cool.
Mm-hmm.
Or Vietnam conflict. Whatever you call
it. Basically the Cold War.
Yes.
Got it.
Exactly.
I feel like a game like that would be sad, but unless they didn't take that approach.
No, it's just multiplayer.
Yeah,
it's only a multiplayer game. So there's no
Got it.
There's no political issue. It's like kill each other.
Got it.
Yeah.
All right. This is my last game on my honorable mention list.
Okay.
And it is Yakuza Kiwami.
Whoa, okay.
Yeah. Okay. So, I love this game so much. God, I just love this game. But
yeah.
I put it as an honorable mention. Man, what can I even say about this game?
We've already said so much.
We've said
brief overview of why you chose it as honorable mention. How about that?
Okay.
And if you want to listen to why Alyssa likes this game and I like this game so much, listen to our spoiler cast about this game. That's it.
And to be honest, you can just listen to at least 2/3 of our podcast
and buy the damn game. It's $30.
Buy the damn game. It's really cheap.
Yeah.
So throughout this game, I realized how much I really missed having two main characters,
mm-hmm.
and I was actually really character fatigued towards the end.
Yes.
When you saw this certain character. Is it a spoiler if I say his name? Really? Would you consider that a spoiler? Because it's not really, it's like a battle mechanic more than an actual, but
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
And we already spoiled the game in another podcast. I don't know if you should or not.
Okay, so there's a battle mechanic it's really funny. It's hilarious, but it's just so overplayed towards the end where it happens every 5 minutes and you're just just leave me alone. I'm just tired of this right now. I don't want to deal with it. I really liked the narrative of this.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun. Definitely more limited though, for sure, because this is a remake and this is a remaster. One thing I loved about this game was the additions to the narrative storyline of one of the side characters. And the scenes that they added, and I believe it really added. I would have never known that the original game didn't have that context.
We never played it. So.
Yeah, we never played it.
But we did hear about the the original versus this one.
Exactly, and this game definitely choose the Kiwami over the original one because it gives so much more emotion to all of the characters. To be honest,
it also looks better, and there's more stuff to do.
There's definitely more stuff to do. I chose this as a honorable mention. Because I just chose this as an honorable mention.
There you go. There you go, audience.
There you go.
If you have a comment or issue with this, please send us, that on one of our sources. You can comment on a video or on SoundCloud and let us know why you don't agree with that. But okay.
Oh my god.
I'm just kidding. I'm joking. I'm just messing with you.
All right.
I got one more on my honorable mention list.
Oh, so it's not 7. It's not 8. It's 7.
I actually added one more. Sorry.
Okay.
It's Wolfenstein 2, the new Colossus.
Ah.
Yeah. I added it because the gameplay feels repetitive over time.
Yeah.
And that's not why I'm not hating on the game. I love the game because I love the first game so much.
Yeah.
And I like the story. Just the whole alternate history thing. And it's a different take on what Wolfenstein is, because Wolfenstein is a World War II shooter. And this takes place after it. And still has the Nazis. So in a way, it still feels like World War II. And I'm still playing that game. But
cool.
So far, I love it. The story is really great. I just wish all the missions weren't repetitive so much.
Got it. That's what I've been hearing a lot about in regards to the gameplay.
Yeah, no.
So seems like it's across the board.
Also, the voice acting and the motion capture is beautiful.
Nice.
It's really well done.
Very cool.
Yep.
The category everyone's been waiting for.
Ba-ba-da-ba.
This is our top 3 games of 2017. So like I said in the beginning of this podcast, Jeremy and I comprised a top 3. None of us know what's on this top 3 for each other.
You probably won't be surprised if I tell you all these.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So we'll go first. Starting with number 3.
The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild.
Really?
Yes. I don't own a Switch, but this game almost made me buy one.
Okay.
Because it was that beautiful and that expansive. And as a huge fan of Wind Waker, this almost became my favorite Zelda game. Mm-hmm. Because of just the size of it and just how much it pulls you in.
Yeah.
I thought that was so cool. And the music is so beautiful.
How many hours did you put into this game?
I don't own a Switch, and when I played it with Jairus, I sunk maybe 5 or 6 hours into it.
I see.
Yeah. That's just by him coming over like twice and me playing it.
Got it.
Oh, man. That game is just beautiful.
Yeah.
I don't know how they're going to top it, but I heard recently that they started development on the next Zelda game. With a completely different engine. It's like you built this beautiful engine, and you're not going to use it for the next game. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my number 3.
Wow.
And I want to buy a Switch because of it, but at the same time, from an earlier comment from another user, I'm going to hold up on buying a Switch because my 5 games that I really want aren't all completed yet on the Switch. One of them being Animal Crossing and Super Smash Brothers.
I see. Wow, I'm like genuinely surprised this is your number 3, actually.
No, yeah.
Wow. You see, what I actually thought was I thought you were going to put Resident Evil for number 3.
No.
Did that came out in 2017, right?
It did.
Yeah. So.
But I put it as an honorable mention because while I really, really like the game, I don't know if I could say that I love the game.
Uh-huh.
With Zelda, I have a nostalgic bias towards it.
Yeah.
And it's simply because I played the first one on the NES.
Got it.
The gray NES console.
Yeah.
And I loved Ocarina of Time and Wind Waker, Majora's Mask, all the other ones in between the names I'm forgetting. But yeah, the Zelda series is great. I love the music.
For sure.
Yeah, so.
Very nice.
Yeah. How about you, Alyssa? You're number 3.
All right, number 3. I have Cuphead.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So, I played Cuphead. Previous podcast, I said I played Cuphead with a friend. I actually bought the game.
Oh, wow.
After I played Cuphead.
Digital or physical release?
Digital.
Okay.
And I actually finished the game.
Oh my god.
It's a short game, so.
Okay.
But.
Did you play it by yourself?
I played it by myself.
Why don't you ask me? I could play with you.
I know. Well, I'll tell you this.
Okay.
They don't have online yet.
All right.
So they have no online co-op.
Okay.
But so this is a game that literally just came on my radar 3 weeks ago. I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, meaning I finally got real exposure to it for the first time 3 weeks ago. Because when this game first came out, I want to say in October or September, I heard about this game and I was like, oh, that's kind of cool, but this is like not really my thing. I'm very nostalgia fatigued right now. Mm-hmm. And I've talked about this before, and it looked great. I like how it was reminiscent of old styles, specifically the 1930s, but I was like, yeah, not really into this, whatever. And then with a friend, I play Cuphead for the first time, and I just played a random, I helped with one of the boss I don't know what I did, actually. I have no idea what I did in the co-op, but I don't know what I fought, but
right, it was the thing.
Yeah, it was just such an interesting game that I was really addicted to trying to perfect the controls to it. And I'll say, a lot of people say this game's hard, and I do actually think it is difficult, but when I think about it more and I reflect on this game, I don't want to say it's hard. I just want to say it's a different way of thinking, and it's it's like not challenging for the sake of being challenging, but it's just engaging your brain and your game problem solving skills in like a different way than a normal platformer.
Okay.
Like, one of the interesting things about this game is it's actually like I don't play games like this often. This game does not give you a health bar.
Right.
So I actually had no idea how far or close I was to even beating bosses majority of the time.
Yeah.
And it was like ridiculous.
Usually it's like 3 hits to the boss and they're down.
Yeah, exactly.
But this time you don't know.
Yeah.
And sometimes they take different forms.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So a lot of them took different forms each time.
Ooh.
Yeah. And now that I've actually played this game and I played it personally and I soaked time into it, this is what I like about taking older styles. So it's not that, so like with the nostalgia, it's not just like the nostalgia factor, but I like when you take an old style and you innovate it and you make it your own. And I feel like that's exactly what this game does. And I completely understand the art style, why this got so many accolades, because I completely agree with that. It just transformed, honestly, in such a way.
Fun fact, the guys who made it are brothers.
Yes.
And they always thought that someone would make a game in this style, like based on 1930s cartoons.
And no one did?
Yeah, and no one did. They're like, you know what, why don't we try it? And they didn't know anything about game design.
Yeah.
But I think they had like an animation background or something.
Yeah.
And they did it.
That's awesome.
See, that's nice.
That's really cool. That now that I know that kind of makes sense. So the main characters are Cuphead and Mugman.
Yep.
And they're brothers.
Yep.
So it really they really do, you can see their heart into this game, in my opinion. Like I see it. And I love the gameplay, how you have to manage multiple things at once in battle. Mm-hmm. And God, soundtrack, A+ soundtrack.
Nice.
And this is just because I really like jazz music, but you can just the runaway piano feeling, or the saxophone, I'm listing names Duke Ellington or Charlie Parker. This is just so reminiscent of the older era, and I just and the fact that they put it into a video game and didn't just do some copy and paste and just kind of oh, this is a game that looks like an older style of animation. They just elevated it in such a way, and it was great. I loved it.
Nice.
Yes.
Cool.
So those are my thoughts on my number 3.
Okay.
Yes.
Sweet. My number 2.
Yes.
Is Yakuza Kiwami.
Oh my god.
Yakuza Kiwami, because I love Yakuza so much. Yeah. And this game, some people have said that this is basically feeling like DLC, and that's why it's a lower price, and it's not as complete game as Yakuza 0. But I love Kiwami because of the characters and the story.
Yes.
And the development of the characters and returning characters.
Yeah.
And just the sheer amount of things you can do in this game is staggering. And even though the map is smaller than the previous game, which was just 2 maps, I don't know. I always find myself coming back to this game because it's beautiful.
Yes, it really is. I agree.
And it's cinematic with the storytelling, and I love Yakuza movies, the movie genre of Yakuza storytelling.
Yes.
And of course, why would I not like a game called Yakuza?
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it's a really good remake. I haven't played the first one, but from what I read, it's a really good remake, and all the original voice actors redid their lines, and I thought that was really cool. Mm-hmm. I could go on, but you could listen to our spoiler cast, and I think we talk about it more in depth.
That's very true. Yakuza Kiwami is in my honorable mention.
Yes.
As well. I love that game. It's an excellent game.
Twists
There's a
and
reason
turns.
we have a spoiler cast. It's basically what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but that's it.
Yes.
Lisa, what is your number 2?
All right. My number 2 is Persona 5.
I knew it.
So with Persona 5, Holy crap. I played Persona 4 Golden in 2014, and at that point I had no idea how long the world had been waiting for Persona 5. But once you got on the Golden hype train and you love that game so much, you're just like, oh fuck, like when is this Persona 5 coming out? Like, because I need to play a game like this. And I banked on it being good too. Like, I got the Steelbook edition. Nice. I don't buy a lot of physical games anymore unless I know for sure, unless it's a gift, or unless I know for sure that I'm really gonna like the game. And this was just like a, you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna pre-order the Steelbook. Like, who cares? So
yeah, exactly.
Man, Persona 5 like is what I believe like another game that transforms from the previous game for sure. And and you can just see the trajectory of how much this game has improved. And Persona 5 really is the golden child in my opinion. And just with the way that the gameplay is, the fighting style, the art direction is like, so what I love about this game is that you have like a storyline that encompasses identity and staying true to yourself and having to deal with issues in your life, yet having to deal with issues whether the main storyline has to do with a murder crime like Persona 4, or it has to do with criminals who aren't like getting what they deserve, which is what Persona 5 is about. But at the same time, it's the ensemble cast is still dealing with their own inner demons, and it just like the ensemble cast just makes everything complete in my opinion, and and addresses a lot of real life issues, which I think is really cool. And symbolism on how you obtain your persona, like your mask is cool. I enjoyed all the characters. Like, okay, I never thought that any female character would get better than like Chie or Yukiko from like Persona 4. Okay. But like Makoto is like a total bae, basically. Like, she's like
the complete package.
I'm just like, wow. Yeah. My character's dating her, not anyone. Like, not a spoiler, but you can actually date every single female at the same time in Persona 5.
Whoa.
But I was just like,
you can be a fuckboy. Fuckboy. But I don't think that's what the definition of a fuckboy is, but never mind.
Yeah, but you didn't have to, because Makoto was like such a bae, straight up. And yeah, and another thing that I really liked about this game is that the main character feels much more involved this time, because typically what happens is the main character for Persona, you don't really like hear his voice, or you don't really like, he doesn't really he's just answering questions. Of course he's important, but like there's something about hearing the actual voice that just kind of like makes you feel included. And you don't typically hear the protagonist's voice until the anime comes out. But they actually incorporated a little bit of his own voice acting. Cool. And so the protagonist just feels like much more included. Very and then cool. On top of that, like you thought the Cuphead soundtrack was good. So is this fucking soundtrack too. Like, I love the soundtracks of all of the games in my top 3 for sure. Yeah. And Persona 5 is another very much like funky jazz influenced game, which also, like, what's great about this game is just the juxtaposition of things. So it's like you have this game that addresses like identity, acceptance, like abuse, and all of these different things. But you have like a really happy soundtrack, like a funky sounding soundtrack, oftentimes with rock guitar, and then like you have all of these bright colors too, and you're like, wow, this is something. So yeah. It's just very, very enjoyable game, well deserved, like for being like one of my top games of 2017. Very cool. Yes. Okay. Yeah. I'll say my number 1. Yeah. Yakuza 0. And that I was kind of expecting. Yeah. 200 hours, almost 300 into that game. Yeah. There is a lot more to do in that game than there is in Kiwami. Yes. And if you're going to start the Yakuza franchise, start with 0. Because it's also probably one of the best Yakuza games in the series. 100%. And also a starting point.
So you get a 2-for-1 deal. There's so much you can do in that game. There's so much detail.
Yes, a 2-for-1 deal and a character who's more secondary in the actual like original series is put into the main focus in this one.
He's playable.
Yeah.
Which is great. And then they both have intersecting storylines that are vastly different.
Yes.
Which is really cool. I could go on. The music is great. It has there's a lot of different soundtracks in this game aside from the actual like what's it called? The actual funky overworld soundtrack. But there's also like the karaoke songs, and then there are like the there's just a lot of different mixes of music in this
disco.
Game. Yeah, disco. Yeah, it's really cool. It reflects the time. The game is set in the 80s, late 80s, which is really awesome. How they decided to start here because it makes the main characters younger, and it kind of shows how they grew up, and how they're shaped in future games.
Oh yeah,
which is awesome. And the storyline of it is so convoluted, complicated, yet by the end of it, you're left wanting more. And you want the next game to come out and play it immediately. And that's why I was anticipating Kiwami so badly, was when it came out, because I'm like, I need to continue my Yakuza fix. And now, with next year's release of Yakuza 6, The Song of Life, Alyssa and I are going to definitely dive into that one. And that one's even more detailed than Zero.
Oh, yeah.
So we can't wait until that game comes out.
Definitely.
Yeah. So, yeah, Zero is my number one from this year because of a lot of reasons. One being, it's the game that started this podcast, I would say.
That is very true.
Because I kept egging her to play this game, and you finally picked it up. You're like, holy shit, this is life-changing.
I know. This really was a life-changing game, for sure.
Yeah, in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
And, again, I love Yakuza movies, and this is one of those cinematic masterpieces.
Yeah.
And yeah, so this game really turned a new leaf for me for gaming, because I would come home from work every day excited to play this game. My brother's like, oh, you're still playing that? I'm like, yeah, I need to play it.
It's like, yeah.
Yeah, I was so addicted to Zero. Like,
yeah.
So addicted. It was ridiculous. I could not stop thinking about it. I would listen to the soundtracks at work. I've never been so obsessed with a game like that before.
Yeah.
So hopefully 6 will do the same thing.
For sure.
As bad as that sounds. Yeah. All right. Number one, Alyssa.
All right, my number one is also Yakuza 0.
Fuck yeah!
Yeah.
Fuck yeah!
We did it!
Yeah, we did it. We finally agree. No. Yeah.
Yeah. You said a lot.
Okay, that's it. All right,
yeah,
now.
The end. So, I pretty much agree with a lot of things that Jeremy said, but actually for me, I want to actually explain why I chose Yakuza 0 over Persona 5.
Yeah.
And because these two, like, 3 was very up in the air. A lot of the honorable mentions were very up in the air, but I knew for certain that Yakuza 0 and Persona 5 were by far and ahead my favorite games of 2017. But I was actually struggling how to rank them. And I didn't know which one I preferred over the other. Ultimately, there's actually one reason why I chose Yakuza 0 over Persona 5. And it's actually the trajectory of the storyline of the main characters into the final boss battle. And, like, this is how much I appreciated it. The Yakuza 0 final boss might be one of my favorite final boss sequences of all time. And just kind of seeing the evolution as a starting Yakuza member who didn't really do much, or you're the Yakuza who was kind of shunned for a while, and then eventually you end up kind of fighting your demons, I guess, in the end. Yeah. So for one character, and the symbolism is crazy. So it's like your character is trying to be the top of the Yakuza, but you're just starting and your tattoo is not filled yet either. And you're about to fight basically the main person of your entire clan or your like dojo pretty much.
Yeah.
And you have a dragon on your back too, so you're trying to be the next dragon. There can only be one dragon is actually like a direct quote from the storyline. And then you have this other character who is just struggling trying to save someone, and you actually come into battle with the person who put that person in the hospital. So just all of these things leading up to the final battle and just the meaning behind everything and the symbolism was just absolutely amazing for me, and it like resonates with me still, and it just like gives me chills when I think about it. Like just like the lead up, the cinematography and the music that comes from it is just like absolute, like I feel is the reason why it beat Persona 5 for sure.
Well said.
Yes. All intensive, like serious purposes. Like some of the songs in Yakuza 0 are like my favorite soundtrack songs of like 2017.
Yup.
Like unexpectedly too. Like,
Yeah.
and it's funny because they made it as jokes too, but like for some reason it's like, wow, this is like an amazing song.
Like, these are well written.
Like these are pretty fucking awesome.
Yeah.
So that is why I put Yakuza 0 for my number 1.
Great. Wow. If you made it this far,
yes.
Congratulations.
I know.
Now we're going to talk about our wishes for 2018.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Alyssa.
All right. So, this final category, we just have basically our hopes and dreams of 2018, and they're both gaming related and a little bit of personal too.
Mm-hmm.
So, for me personally, I actually like told myself I need to relax more with video games, where I want to not feel as pressured to finish games quickly.
Yeah.
And I also want to be a little bit more picky is not the right word, but kind of like, it's okay if you don't play it. Like, if you don't want to play it right now, that's okay.
Yeah.
What your gut feeling, what you like is what you like, and you don't have to necessarily follow reviews or follow the crowd on anything.
Yeah.
I have a huge backlog of games that I need to work on.
I feel you.
Yeah. So I'm going to work on that. I'm going to actually spend 2018 exploring more of the United States. So,
cool.
As you all know, we're from California. We're from the San Francisco Bay Area. I want to just kind of see what's out there in the United States.
Same.
Yeah. So that's my travel goal. Save money is another one I have here. Eat healthy is another one. The typical stuff, whatever.
Yeah.
And then my last goal of 2018 is kind of like, we're going to continue doing the podcast. We're going to continue.
I hope.
Yeah. Duh.
Okay.
We're basically going to continue doing the podcast. We're going to continue focusing on video games, but my personal goal is I actually want to try and talk to creators on the podcast in gaming, but not just in gaming, but in animation and just the film industry. So just the entertainment industry at large, and recognize people behind the scenes.
Mm-hmm.
And I just want, I feel like I'm at an age and time in my life where I want to use my public platform for good. So
that's great.
That's where I'm at for 2018.
Damn, that was deep.
I know.
I put all video game stuff. I didn't know it was gonna be personal.
I told you it could be personal.
Okay, no, I do have some stuff on here. I do want to play and buy more co-op games, but not at full price. I want to play more co-op games because after playing Overcooked, earlier this week when I played it with my brother and his girlfriend, I realized how much fun it is to play a game and go towards one goal with other people in the same room on the same screen.
Yeah.
And I want to play Power Rangers, Fat Princess Adventures, Borderlands, and Overcooked. Yeah. And I want to beat all of those games with at least the same people, or try to.
Yeah.
Because it would be a really fun experience to do that. I also want to platinum both of the Yakuza games right now. 0 and Kiwami.
Nice.
It's going to be a long, hard journey, but I think I could do it.
Very cool.
I want to eat healthier, like you said. I think that's a good goal. I've been starting to, so that's good. I want to lose weight.
For sure.
That's definitely a goal. I want to just travel the world more. I want to go to Europe. I've never been there before.
Nice.
I do like the US, and I do think that traveling to the US would be fun too. But for me, I feel like traveling the world will help broaden my perspective on a lot of things.
Yeah.
And staying in the US, while I do like this country a lot, like even despite our government being, the laughing stock that it is, I want to I
hope there's no conservative people. Well, no. Respect to conservative people. Like,
I don't think
a lot of conservatives don't like Trump at all. So,
that's yeah.
Trump is just an anomaly, really. He's his own thing.
He's his own planet.
I don't even think he's his own. I don't even know what party that is anymore.
It's the Trump party.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, I want to experience more things around the world.
For sure.
I really want to go to other countries. And I also want to go to a couple of video game conventions. The first one being Tokyo Game Show.
Yeah.
I really, really want to go to Tokyo Game Show so badly.
Yeah.
Another goal of mine is to interview an A-list person.
Mm-hmm.
One of the people on my list that I really, really, really want to interview is Hideo Kojima.
Oh.
For the podcast.
You'd actually do it in Japanese too.
I am not fluent, but I will try.
Yeah.
I would have to have someone help translate.
Well, I mean, you'd be better. You'd be way better off than a lot of English speakers where there's a translator in between, and it's just a hot, awkward mess.
Yeah, it's like what? Yeah, but I think we would have to hire, or I would ask a friend to come along.
Yeah, for sure.
Like Shogo or something. Hey, can you help me translate something? You'd be like, for what? This is this guy that we're interviewing.
I know.
He's kind of famous.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to interview an A-list person in the gaming industry. Either Hideo Kojima is my number one, but I also want to talk to people like Todd Howard or Gabe Newell, or even composers, maybe like Martin O'Donnell.
Yeah.
I'm open to different people coming on board and just talking on this podcast, because I think right now we're gonna have a good track list.
Yeah.
Or we do have a good track list.
Yeah.
So that's good.
Yeah, there's just we have
stuff in the pipe.
We have stuff in the pipe already. There's just a lot of things that will come out at the beginning of the year that we're really excited to share with all of you.
2018 is gonna start off with a bang.
With a bang.
Fireworks.
Fire.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm just excited for what 2018 will throw. So
yeah, really quick, just some games I'm looking forward to learning more about, but also looking forward to seeing release in 2018. Ghost of Tsushima. I want to learn more. I don't know if it's coming out in 2018, but I just want to know more about it. And that's Alyssa's cries are because she's actually excited, but also I want more.
I want that game so badly.
I know, right?
Oh my god.
Yakuza 6 Song of Life. Of course, we both pre-ordered the special edition version, or the platinum edition, whatever it was called.
Mm-hmm.
And we're doing a very, very, very special podcast on that.
Yes.
Yakuza Kiwami 2. I hope they release that later next year.
I think they maybe.
Probably towards the end.
Yeah.
Like they did with Kiwami, the first one.
I think so.
And I also want to hear more about the new Yakuza game that's going to come out with the new protagonist.
Yes.
So we'll see about that.
That one I'm very curious about.
Same. I don't know if he's Kiryu or Majima, but we'll see.
Yeah, we'll definitely see. For me personally, I'm really excited to play Ni no Kuni at the beginning of the year.
Oh, the second one.
The second one.
Yeah.
And then I'm also so now that I've actually played Monster Hunter World, I know for a fact I'm not gonna buy it immediately. But that's a game now that the beta actually I thought was cool. But I will wait to play that. There's a lot of games there's actually a lot of sequel games coming out in 2018.
I got 4 that I want to briefly touch on.
Yeah.
2 of them are sequels. Red Dead Redemption 2.
Correct.
I don't know if that's coming out next year.
Correct. You see, these are all it's like these are all disclaimered. Like, oh, it might, it's coming out in 2018. Probably, maybe, realistically, 2019, early 2019, or end of 2018 is when these games will come out.
Q4.
And Q4, Q3, Q4, and one of these games says it's going to come out in 2018. Clearly, it's going to come out in like 2021.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah. Last of Us Part 2.
Yes.
Hopefully will come out next year.
Yes.
Or at least they'll announce a release date. I don't think there has been a release date announced, right?
I believe 2018 is what they said. I don't know if we know that much more information aside from that.
Right. Marvel Spider-Man by Insomniac is something I'm looking forward to.
Oh my god, I'm actually looking forward to that one too.
Yeah.
I was looking at it at E3, so
okay. Yeah. So we'll see. I mean, it looks really promising. Yeah. And Insomniac knows how to do action.
Yeah.
For sure.
Definitely.
So we'll see. And the last thing I have on my list is Death Stranding. I just want to know more about that game. And I just want a demo or something. Hideo Kojima. Kojima-san, please give us some more.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah. So that's all I have.
And then I'm excited to hear more about Detroit just because I'm actually a really big fan of
David Cage?
David Cage? Wait, David Cage?
That's the guy who made it, right?
Oh, I don't know actually. I thought you said Nicolas Cage. I was like, what?
I'm a huge fan of Nicolas Cage.
I'm a huge fan of Nicolas Cage. I don't probably. Okay. I'm actually not unfamiliar with the Quantic Dream company. Nicolas Cage is not on it, by the way. But I just like personally, for me, I like that type of game. So
yeah.
I'm really excited to play something like that. Yeah, we'll see what 2018 has to offer. I lightweight kind of hope that we take a break because 2017 had like a lot of games, like a shit ton of games.
Yeah,
like holy shit.
This right now is the renaissance of gaming. Like without a doubt, there's an abundance of video games on all consoles, especially PC. Not to be biased towards PC, but Steam is both a cesspool and also a pedestal for PC gaming. I can say that I love Steam because I've been a user on Steam for a long time. It's just there's so much shit on Steam. It's ridiculous how much shit's on Steam.
Yeah.
But I want to say that it's a pedestal for PC gaming because without Steam, we wouldn't have Origin or Uplay.
Oh yeah.
Or stuff like that, or BattleNet.
Yeah.
Steam was the granddaddy of Steam.
Yeah. No, agreed.
It's great. Yeah. No, and then yeah, I mean, hopefully 2018 will bring Alyssa and I a lot of surprises in gaming. Like we're gonna find out stuff that we didn't even think about now, that we're probably not gonna even think about a year from now.
Yeah.
And not even mention it until we actually start playing it.
Pretty much.
Hopefully, maybe she'll find something and she'll egg me to play it, much like I did when we first started this podcast with Yakuza 0, and I was like, you gotta play it.
And it turns out it's amazing. Like we'll see.
And now it turned into our #1 games of this year.
I know. Like who would have fucking thought?
Yeah.
One thing I wanted to mention, since I do play mostly PlayStation 4 games, is Jeremy is correct that every single platform you can think of has so many games to offer. 2 out of my 3 games in my top are all PlayStation exclusive games too.
Yeah.
So there's just a lot that you can definitely play. And yeah, this has honestly been a very successful year for gaming in my opinion. And yeah.
Yeah. Well, hopefully 2018 will be an even bigger year, but like you just said, Alyssa,
I hope not.
I mean, I don't. I can't keep buying all these games.
I hope not. Please.
My wallet is already bleeding.
Please just take a break.
Yeah.
Please.
Well, I mean, one of your goals was to be selective about what you buy.
I will be selective.
And I as well. Like I mentioned before that I don't like buying games at full price because I think it's just ridiculous. But there are some exceptions. For example, Yakuza 6 is coming out, and we both pre-ordered the Platinum Edition. And I don't really pre-order games that much, and especially at full price. And this is beyond full price. This is like $80.
I know.
And I thought it was ridiculous, but after seeing the practical uses of what comes in that package, I'm like, yes, I need to buy this game.
I mean, it comes with cups. Like,
Yeah, and stones.
Yeah.
Ice stones.
Like that's as useful as it gets, to be honest.
Yep. I don't care about the art book. Give me the game and cups and the coasters and the ice stones.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah. So yeah, this has been a great year so far, Lisa.
Yes.
Looking forward to next year, our 1 year anniversary.
Yes.
And everything else.
1 year anniversary, and we're turning 26.
Oh, jeez.
Never mind. That's not something to look forward to. So, yay.
Yay.
All right. I think we've talked long enough on this podcast. Real quick, Jeremy and I, we just want to wish all of you a very happy holidays and a happy new year wherever you're at.
Yep. Happy holidays. Happy New Year.
Yeah.
Hope you're spending it all with loved ones.
Yes, and stay safe always.
Yeah. Please.
Stay safe, play video games, do what you love.
Hopefully you guys will still be listening to us into the new year. Hopefully we'll have more fans, more listeners.
Yeah, more fans from all over, which by the way, in this 1 year of having the podcast, we really, really appreciate all of you for listening. So
it's been crazy. Every time Alyssa sends me questions that you guys have submitted, I am astounded every time. I still can't believe people listen to us.
Yeah,
which is so crazy.
I know, and I'm still astounded every time I look at the stats and there's just a new country that just popped out of nowhere. I'm like, wow,
that country exists now. I'm joking. All jokes aside, no, yeah. Thank you, whoever you are in the world.
Yeah.
Shout out to you.
You're
great. You guys are awesome.
Yes. So real quick, upon release of this podcast, we're gonna take a break because it's the holidays, and you should take a break too. But just know that when the new year comes up, we will have new content for sure. But it's not gonna come out for a while. But just enjoy your break.
Think of this as season 1 finale.
Season 1 finale.
Yeah.
The season finale of 2017.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a great year. So looking forward to next year. I keep saying that. Okay. I'll stop talking about that.
I know.
Yeah, no, it's really been a great year though. And I can't believe all the guests we've had on from
it's really
our friends to Eden Kai.
Yeah, really we started off as just having fun as coworkers. We're not even coworkers anymore, and we're still doing this. And we still have our coworkers on this our old coworkers on this podcast.
Yep.
And we still have our friends on this podcast. Basically, just kind of I don't know, just super thankful.
Yeah. When we first started, if you told me that we would be interviewing someone from Tara's house, I would be so ecstatic, and I would tell you that you're a liar. But in the very beginning, I don't know if maybe we talked about in the very first episode, we don't even know where this is gonna go, and we just think that it's fun to do.
And no lie, I'm too ashamed to listen to the old episode now.
I'm not going to.
I don't I feel like I didn't know how to talk. I wasn't used to the mic yet. I felt very uncomfortable, and I just. Yeah,
maybe
we're not gonna go there.
When we run out of ideas, we'll do a recap and see where
Jesus
maybe our either our 1 year anniversary or our 100th episode. We'll see.
Do a reaction video of our of our very first podcast.
Yeah, hopefully reaction videos won't be copyrighted by them or whatever.
Oh, Jesus.
I know that's so 2016, but it's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Contact your local, if you're a United States person, contact your local congressman to vote against
net neutrality.
Not against net neutrality, but to vote for net neutrality, because in the United States, this will affect game streaming and just a lot of video content and creators out there, and we don't want that to happen.
This is our first time talking about this, but yeah, it is a huge issue, and the FCC repealed net neutrality very recently, and that's very upsetting.
It is very upsetting, but at the end of the day, no surprise, it's all about money.
Yeah.
Which is unfortunate.
Yeah. Well, we can go on about this, but I don't think we should. This is a whole other podcast that we're going into that we shouldn't, and we've been going on for quite a while, so we should call it a podcast, call it a night.
Yes.
And if you still have questions, you could still send them to us, but we'll just read it when the new podcast rolls around next year.
2018.
Yeah. So still feel free to send us whatever you want. We'll get to it next year.
Yes.
Literally next year.
Yes. And very happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Yes. This has been the 32nd episode of Downtime Podcast. We will see you in the new year.
Goodbye and welcome 2018.
Whoop whoop.